everybody. Today's story time is a book called Elmore. It's by Holly Hobby, and I'll give you a little bit of a close-up of this creature. Elmore. Look at this funny picture. Do you know what kind of animal he is? Let's find out. Elmore lived by himself in an ancient maple tree. He loved it there. Sounds like a pretty cool place to live. Can you see how neat his house looks? Would you like to live in a tree house? I would, for sure. Every few days, he would climb down the huge tree trunk as darkness fell to gaze on his favorite leaves and twigs. Then back he would go to his snug hollow in the ancient tree. So have you figured out what kind of animal he is yet? Porcupine, that's right, good job. Elmore was solitary. He lived alone. And you'd think that he would be used to that by now, but here's the thing. He often felt lonely. Solitude could be boring. Solitary is like a fancy word for saying you're all by yourself. Would you want to live all by yourself? Sometimes I think I might, but most of the time, no. He'd always had trouble making friends. Well, what was the problem? After all, the L in Elmore's name, his mother once explained, stood for love. He put up a sign. Friends wanted. He was discouraged by what he overheard.
He's too prickly. It's hard to be around him.
Let's see those raccoons saying they don't maybe don't want to be his friend because he has those prickles. Elmore shook his back and his quills rattled. It was true, if you got too close, you might get needled, nettled, prickled. Elmore didn't mean it. It just happened. You see all his quills flying off. He spent a rainy day holed up in an ancient tree thinking about what to do. What could be done about his troublesome quills? They were there to protect him like a coat of armor, but protect him from what? Elmore's life was peaceful. He was lucky. So he's wondering, why do I have all these prickly quills? The next day, his old uncle happened to come shuffling along past Elmore's tree. "Good morning, Elmore." A moment later, he said, "You don't seem your usual cheerful self. Is something wrong?"
I wish I didn't have all these quills, Elmore explained. It's too hard to be around and I have no friends.
"Well, I'm your friend," his uncle smiled.
Well, that's different, Elmore replied.
"But you're a porcupine," his uncle stated emphatically. "You wouldn't be a porcupine without quills."
I know, said Elmore. I've got hundreds and thousands of them.
"You're a handsome porcupine," his uncle added, "and your quills are beautiful. You should treasure them." His uncle's kind words made Elmore feel better. Then, as he looked at the many quills scattered about his cozy dwelling, he had an idea. Elmore tied up each small cluster of quills with a bit of string. So look at that awesome picture. He's all snug in his little house, and look what he's doing. Can you see what he's doing? He's tying up all of his porcupine quills with some string. Can you make a prediction about what you think he's going to do with all these porcupine quills? He posted another sign. Elmore Quill Pens, 100% real porcupine quills, free. For 2 days, they went like hotcakes. everyone could enjoy a quill pen, especially if it was made from 100% real porcupine quills and free too. They could make ink from berries, Elmore suggested, which was extra fun. Everyone loves getting a note from a friend, he said as he handed out the bundles. By the time the last quill pens were gone, Elmore was tuckered out, but most of all, he was happy. You can hear our piano going in the other room. In the days that followed, he received all kinds of notes. It was exciting. We love our quill pens. This is a picture of us. Let's be pen pals. One bright morning after the quill event, there was a big sign tacked to the trunk of Elmore's tree. Look how happy he is. Let's see. What do you think the sign says? Oh, you are a beautiful porcupine. Our woods are lucky to have you. Your friends. So that's the story of Elmore the porcupine. And I know in the beginning he really didn't know what to do with those quills, but the quills ended up being what really made him special. And what did he end up doing with those quills? Do you remember? What did he do? Yeah, he put them in little bundles and gave them away for free, and they ended up being like little pens and pencils that his friends could use to write. So I just love the story of Elmore, and I love how his friends and people in the forest really appreciate him by the end of the story, and they appreciate what makes him special. So I hope you have friends out there that make you feel special and make you feel happy in your heart. And I wondered, who are your friends? Who are the people that make you feel good and joyful? And I hope that you have friends like Elmore has that make you feel special. And you are special. And I'll see you next time for our next Read Aloud. Thanks for coming to Storytime. Bye, everybody.